This video this morning to send out a consistent message about DirecTV and what's happened and what we can do going forward. This has certainly been an impact for us as the company and more so as you as customers. But there's, as you'll hear later on, there's very little that we can do about it. So we need to adjust and adapt and figure out the best way forward. What happened is in early to mid-September, DirecTV changed the positioning of some of the transponders on the satellite that we get our feed from. They won't admit that that's what they did, but that's the only thing that explains the issues we're having here. So each transponder is like a little antenna, and so many channels are on each transponder. So we've lost virtually all of the odd transponders. And so we've lost roughly half of our channels, and there's nothing we can do about it. We can't realign the dish. We can't, I've got a 2.4 meter dish. Most of y'all have 1.8 meter dishes. It's the same issue. We are on the very edge of coverage of the satellite that DirecTV uses. Which is why we've always had to use the larger dishes, 1.8 meter is a minimum, just to gather in enough signal to get service. So when they move those transponders a little bit, we're just no longer in the coverage area of that satellite, for most of that satellite. The channels will still work in the States, which obviously is DirecTV's target market. We're not in the official coverage area, so they're not interested in doing anything. I will say that in years past, this has happened before, and it's usually only lasted a couple of weeks. The longest one maybe was a month. And then they made changes again, and we got all of our service back. So we're over a month now, and there hasn't been any change. So we need to figure out what our options are and how to go forward. So number one, you can certainly stay with the system you have if you're okay with the channels that you're getting. Since I've only been back about a week, and one thing I've noticed is that there's more channels that come in at night than during the day, which isn't unusual because the way the Earth tilts in the position of the satellite, you can gain or lose channel strength or signal strength on channels based on time of day. So that is one option. Stay with what you've got and just learn to live with the reduced number of channels. Unfortunately, we can't modify pricing because our prices haven't changed. We've not raised our prices ever on DirecTV, so you're paying the same price as what we were charging. I remember when we started doing DirecTV, probably 2005 or 4. So 15 years roughly. Been no price changes, and we can't afford to lower the prices. In fact, as most of y'all know, I've been in the States almost totally the whole past year. One of the things I was working on was doing analysis on what we needed to raise the rates for DirecTV, because my costs have gone up over the years and we just never have passed on those costs to the customers. So as a package, the DirecTV service is not extremely profitable for me at this time, and so there's no room for me to reduce the monthly charge based on the reduced service. So, but that's one option. You can stay with what you've got and adjust your viewing habits accordingly. The other option, we're working to come up with an IP-based solution. I think we're probably within 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, of having that available. I don't have the final numbers yet, but I believe it will end up being a fair amount cheaper for the service, and you'll have a huge number of options for channels from around the world. So if for our friends from Europe or wherever, we should be able to give you programming from your home country or home area, as well as U.S. and Canadian feeds. So we're working on the details of that. We don't have the details yet. We will have it in the next few weeks. And certainly we will be letting everybody know when that's available. And we'll be trying to convert as many people over as possible. One thing that we need to consider is that you will need more bandwidth probably. Most people, especially in the rural areas around the island, only have 1 or maybe 3 megs of bandwidth, and that's probably not going to be enough. I have talked to Dwayne at Max a little bit, and I'm actually going to be meeting with him over the next few days to see if maybe we can put together some kind of package or something, figure out what we can do. I know that Max had a decrease in price. Well, actually, if I understand right, he kept the price the same but increased the amount of bandwidth he was providing. I think probably another adjustment similar to that is forthcoming. I don't know the timing of it, but it'll be happening for too long. So, one way or another, you're going to have to get enough bandwidth to support the TV over IP. And we don't have those exact requirements. We are dealing with a compressed data stream, so it won't be as much as HD does now, but you will have you probably, especially if it's one of those lower plans, you'll probably have to bump up your plan a little bit. And with Max, you don't have any data limits like on Tigo or Claro. So it doesn't matter if you stream every day. With the Tigo and Claro, you do have bandwidth limits of the usage, so that will be an issue. But we can't fix every problem. So each individual is going to have a different set of requirements, and we'll figure out a way around that. I guess my main message I want to give to everybody is that we are well aware of the problem. It's out of our control. We are working for a solution, and as soon as we have one, I will reach back out to you. If we certainly understand if anybody wants to cancel their service, I got it. Understand. The next billing is coming up on the 1st, so 10 days away or so. So let us know in the next 10 days before we bill out, and I hope you stay with us until we get another solution that again I think will be cheaper and more channels available. So thanks for watching, and we hope to be able to bring you on to our new TV system in the next few weeks. And I hope you stick with us on DirecTV until we get that new solution in. Thank you so much.